Hello everyone, we're on to the last leg of things, we're on to the last sections, and when you guys are taking a look at it, it says the point P on the unit circle has coordinates 1, 0. Okay, once again, point B has units 1, 0. So this is following in a similar manner from what we've been seeing. For each angle of rotation, state the number of rotations defined by the angle, and then identify the coordinate P after the given rotation. So we have a couple things that we're going to need to go ahead and think about when we're writing these out. We have to think about the number of rotations. Then we're supposed to also think about the horizontal and vertical coordinates. Okay. Now, when we're doing this, you're going to need to use a calculator to find those whenever we have something over 12. When you have something over 2 over 3, those should be pretty straightforward. You can just look at the unit circle. So in our first one, we have 25 pi over 12. Okay, and with this, you guys can see that that's going to be bigger than 2 pi. So what's going to happen is we're going to be going around, all the way around, and this is going to be half of that, and then we're going to have 1 or 2 pi. So if you think about this, this is going to be, if we go ahead and take and divide 25 by 2, we're going to have 2. And then we're going to have a little bit left over 2. And then we're going to have pi over 12, 1 pi over 12 left over. So when we're doing this, this is once again, we have 2 pi, and then we have 1/12. So 1/12 is going to be a little bit less than 1/6. So this is going to mean that we're going to be going a little bit further. So we're going to have 25 pi over 12. Okay, so this is where your angle is going to be at. Now we have to determine how many rotations we actually have. Okay, so at this point, if you think about it, this entirety, if we go around, if you think about how many twelfths are in a whole pi, there's 12 of them, and then how many twelfths are in 2 pi. So once again, we went 12 or 24 out of 12, and then we have 1 left over. So we have 1 full rotation, okay, we have 1 full rotation, and then we have pi over 12 left. Pi over 12 we have 1 out of, once again, this is pi, so that's 12 pi over 12. And then 2 pi is going to be 24 pi over 12. So that means in 1 full rotation, we're going to break this up into 24ths. So we have 1 full rotation and 1 24th. So if we take that and we divide 1 by 24, we're going to find that we get about approximately 1.042 rotations. 1.042 rotations. Okay. Now with this, if we want to find our horizontal coordinate, once again, x is going to be your cosine value. So we're going to take cosine of 25 pi over 12. And you can plug that directly into your calculator, find it. And then the same thing for sine here. Sine of 25 pi over 12. Okay. With our next one, we're going to go ahead and do the same sort of thing. I'm going to go ahead and erase all this stuff up here just so we're able to go through it once again. And you guys can always go back to take a look at it if you guys would like to. So with this one, we're going to do a similar sort of thing, but working with halves is a lot nicer than what we were just doing with our 12ths. So if we're working with halves, we can think about it this way. This is 0, this is pi over 2, this is pi, this is 3 pi over 2, 2 pi, and so on. If we think about it in terms of halves, this angle right here is 1/2. And what we're doing here is we are going 5 of those. So we're going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is also 5 pi over 2, 5 halves. Okay, so if we're thinking about this coordinate right here, we know this coordinate is 0, 1. Okay, We also know that we went one full rotation, so 5 pi over 2. We know that this is going to be 4 pi over 2, which is 2 pi over 2, or 2 pi, which is 1 full rotation. Okay, and then this is also 4 pi over 2 plus pi over 2. We broke it up. So we have to figure out how much pi over 2 is of the entire thing. If you guys are thinking about it, pi over 2 is 1/4 of our unit circle. So we can write it as 1 full rotation and 0.25 rotations, or 1/4 of a rotation. So this is 1.25. The horizontal coordinate and vertical coordinate are a little easier for this one because we're finding cosine of 5 pi over 2, which we already kind of found right here. 5 pi over 2 cosine's your x value, so it's going to give you 0. Okay, and then for sine of 5 pi over 2, if you guys are taking a look at that, we can go ahead and find it right here. Once again, it's just going to be your y value, so it's going to be 1. Okay. What I'd like you guys to do, you guys are going to have a few questions. It's going to ask you guys to find the remaining information. Thank you guys very much for your time. Go ahead and finish this question.